I'm Kim Davis. I am so excited to be here with you as we start 2015. Happy New Year for those of you who I have not had a chance to talk with yet. A couple of program notes. Every Thursday, you can join me on my blog talk show, blogtalkradio.com/Chalk Talk with Kim. Every Thursday, noon Central Standard Time. Great interviews, lots of conversation. You can even call in and be a part of the show. I hope to see you next Thursday at noon. All right, the biggest story this week, well, the biggest sports story to me has been surrounding what's happening in college football. Of course, on Monday night, the Buckeyes won the first ever college playoff national championship. So the Buckeyes are the national champions. They beat Oregon pretty handily in the championship game on Monday night. In that game, Cardale Jones, the redshirt freshman quarterback, led that team. He was impressive. He looked good. Now, keep in mind, this was only Jones's third start, right? He's only played in 3 games. He was the third string quarterback on the depth chart when the season started. So his first game, they took on Wisconsin. The first game he played, they beat Wisconsin handily in the Big Ten championship. Then they went and traveled to the Sugar Bowl and took on Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. They won that game to get to the national championship where they beat Oregon. And so the conversation became, should this young man come out and declare for the NFL draft of 2015? He had to make that decision on Thursday. Okay, that's when underclassmen had to declare whether or not they were going to come out in this year's draft. He had a press conference at his high school. All the buzz was, he's going to come out. Of course he should come out. There were some who said he shouldn't, but there were many who said he should come out because there's a good chance he may not play next year at Ohio State when the 2 guys ahead of him who got injured are back and healthy. Come out, make the money. That's why you go to school, is to get a job and make money. Well, yesterday he shocked many people and said, I am going to stay in school. I'm going to go back to Ohio State. I'm coming back. I'm going to finish my college education. He talked about the importance of education, and there will be time for me to get to the National Football League. That's what I ultimately want to do. But right now I need to go back to school. I need more than 3 games. I'm not ready. I'm going to make the decision that I think is best for me and my family right now, which is about, I'm kind of paraphrasing. He didn't necessarily say it that way, but I'm going to go back to college. And I say congratulations, kudos to Cardale Jones, because I'm sure he had a lot of people in his ear saying, go now, take the money, go to the National Football League. And I've seen a lot of comments online, on social media. I've had people contact me and say, that was idiotic. People don't understand athletics. Well, let me tell you something. I've covered the league for a long time. I've seen a lot of guys go to the league and not make it. I've seen them go to the league, make a lot of money, end up broke. I've seen guys go to the league, make it, have great careers, have great lives later. There is no crystal ball that says what he is doing right now, what that's going to translate into later. But what it does say is he is making a mature choice and a decision. He is not operating out of the spirit of lack. He's not just jumping for the money. And here's something that people at home, I want you to understand this. Here's an example. Russell Wilson, who led the Seattle Seahawks to the Super Bowl championship last year, okay? And this year has his team in the NFC championship game. They could go back to the Super Bowl. He could win another Super Bowl. I mean, a lot has to happen, but he could be a 2-time Super Bowl winner. And he makes $600,000 a year. That's great money for me. If I made that, I would say, raise the roof. That's not necessarily great money for a starting NFL quarterback. It's not bad, but my point is Cardale Jones was projected to be maybe a 4th-round pick. So he goes back to school, he gets more playing time, he grows a little more, and so perhaps his draft status becomes a 1st-round draft pick. Maybe he becomes a top 5 kind of guy because he's got great raw ability, he's got great size, there's a lot of upside. It just depends on how it all plays out. The NFL is going to be there. He has time to get to the National Football League. So what if he doesn't get to play next year, Kim? I'm glad you asked. Well, there's some options for him. If he goes through spring and he doesn't feel like he's going to have a chance to play in the fall, he could declare for the supplemental draft. He could still play in the National Football League next year. He could still do that, okay? Or he could even transfer to a Division II school and play right away. There are some options for Cardale Jones. I don't know if I called him Stewart, but I meant Cardale Jones. But good for him for not jumping yesterday and making a decision that while he had 72 hours to undo it, Just sit back, cool your heels, grow some more, learn some more, continue to mature. And he raised his status, I think, in the draft with NFL scouts and teams in terms of showing his level of maturity and just being thoughtful and compelling, speaking to young people around the nation, saying education is important. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was a great statement, and I'm proud of him. I don't know him, but I was really glad to see that, and I applaud his decision. Quick note before I go, this weekend I'm picking Seattle over Green Bay. I think it'll be much closer than people think. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is as hurt. I mean, he moved pretty well in the pocket last week, but I do think Seattle is very difficult to beat at home, so I'm going to pick the Seahawks. In that other game, I'm not really sure. I've got to go with the Patriots because it's tough to pick against Brady in a game like that and to pick against the Patriots. But the Colts looked pretty good last weekend. I think that game will be a lot closer as well. That's it for Chalk Talk. Follow me on Twitter at Kim Y. Davis. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my blog talk show and have a great, great weekend. I'll see you next week on Chalk Talk.